Fanatical Massholes Show is sponsored by Big Belly Barbecue. If you're looking to get a plate or looking to try something different, hit up Timothy Brunfield on Facebook. Fat Boy the Chef on Instagram. Big Belly Barbecue is the name of his company. He specializes in fried lobster tail, lobster mac and cheese, Cajun wings, the works, etc., etc. He has all that and more. Like I said, if you're looking to get catered, he'll take care of you. You will not be disappointed. Big Belly Barbecue is the name of his company. Fat Boy the Chef on Instagram. Timothy D. Brunfield on Facebook. Check them out. All right, let's get to the show.
Left one. Platinum. Guess what? We coming back at you. Sure will. We ain't playing no games. We gonna cross that finish line, y'all. I'ma cross the finish line. Finish line. I'ma cross the finish line. Finish line. I'ma cross the finish line. Finish line. I'ma go out there, get mine. As a motherfucking beat drop. Tell you something now, I'm hip. Ain't nowhere for hell that I'ma stop. I'ma set it on fire on every block. As I'm pippin' in my fast car. I'm racing like, whoa, I like this NASCAR.
Good morning. Welcome to the best sports podcast going on the internet. Whatever, you know what I'm saying, cable, TV, everywhere. It's the Fanatical Massholes Show where we give you our unedited, unfiltered, unapologetic opinion on everything that's going on in sports for the sports fanatics, by sports fanatics. It's your boy Mizzo. I got my dogs with me. It's St. Lex, Wakil. What's going on, fellas?
What it do, bro? What's happening?
What it do?
Man, I can't call it. I can't call it. No, we want to say happy Memorial Day weekend. To all the people, to all the families out there, not even whatever, everybody, you know what I mean? Hope you're safe. Hope it's not as chilly as it is up where I'm at in the Northeast. You know what I mean? We still gonna get it. We still gonna get down. You know what I mean? Throw something on the grill and all that. Obviously, we want to say thank you to all the members of the armed forces that have served. You know what I mean? That have lost their lives in the line of duty. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, let's have a good show. Today we're gonna be talking about this RG3 Ryan Clark situation. It's unavoidable because everybody's talking about it. So hey, you know what I'm saying? And it's worth talking about because it's an underlying, to me, it's underlying. And you're going to get what I'm saying, or, you know, hopefully you understand what I'm saying as we get into the topic. Just with this whole Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark thing. You know, so we're going to get into that. Obviously, we're going to talk a little NBA playoffs. You know what I mean? If you watched the game last night or decided not to watch the game last night, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had it on. And then I transferred it to the iPad and watched something else. You know what I mean? It was on in the background. I didn't really miss much. You know what I'm saying? Like, It was ugly. But all right, let's get into it. And remember, before we start, like, subscribe, share, comment, support the movement. Everybody that's supporting right now, we love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Anybody else, come on and jump on board, man. You know what I'm saying? You're going to like it here. You know what I'm saying? You're going to love it here. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? Get down with the team. All right. So, as I stated, before we got off the before we finished the show last week, I spoke about the play between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark fouled Angel Reese after Angel Reese shoved her teammate in the back, trying to get a rebound. That should have been called on Angel Reese. It wasn't. Caitlin Clark was frustrated. It's a take foul. Hard foul, basketball play. Angel Reese got pissed off, jumped up, it got in her face. What's wrong with you type? You know what I mean? Caitlin Clark walked away, whatever, cooler heads prevailed. Both asked about it. Look, it's a basketball play. Should have never been called, whatever the case is. Angel Reese said it's a basketball play. Good call. Move on. So they both didn't. No one added fuel to the flames, except one person. Well, other people did, but one person in particular, RG3. Yes, the former quarterback for my Washington Commanders, who's kind of been doing this lately. You know what I mean? Like, he's, you know, when it comes to certain things, like the Jackie Robinson, when it came to the whole programs and all that, DEI and anything like that, he kind of stoked the flames, like, you know, that and when they commented on Around the Horn about it, Mina Kimes did, and Stephen A. Smith talked about it. He spoke out like, you know, that should never be mixed, that in sports, you know what I'm saying? But bro, it should be talked about. But anyway, that's a whole other subject. We're gonna get into that, you know what I mean, for sure, somewhere down the line, you know what I'm saying? But so here, let's pull up his comments for what he initially said about Angel Reese right after the play happened. Here we go.
So where was this type of reaction last year when Angel Reese got chokeslammed by Alyssa Thomas of the Connecticut Sun? Y'all remember that? She got fouled so hard, they kicked Aaliyah Thomas out the game with a flagrant 2 foul. What did Angel Reese do? Nothing. She didn't get up and try to swing on her. You know why? The reaction was different because of who did it. And there is a lot of history there with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. You guys remember last year when Angel Reese celebrated Kennedy Carter getting that flagrant foul on the hip check against Caitlin Clark? You remember that? On the sideline, just, yeah, baby, get her, you get her. Who celebrates like that for a flagrant foul on another player?
All right, I'm gonna stop it there. That's one of the things he said. We'll keep going, but look, right there with the whole Kennedy Carter thing. Who celebrates like that? A lot of teams do. Like, let's stop it. Stop it. Let's stop making it seem like Caitlin Clark is the only one that'll celebrate a hard foul on another player. Angel Reese, I'm sorry. Yeah, Angel Reese will celebrate that. Is the only player that would do that. NBA players, I'm sure they do it too. They just don't talk about it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this thing has been made so much bigger. You know what I mean? Ever since the whole national championship game. And that's the problem. Like, they keep bringing up other stuff. Now, yes, Angel Reese didn't get in Alyssa Thomas's face. You know what I mean? I can't tell you why. Yeah, you can call her out for that, no doubt. How come you didn't have that same smoke, same energy for Alyssa Thomas? You know what I'm saying? Alyssa Thomas yoked her and threw it to the ground. Angel Reese took it as a badge of honor. Like, you know what? That's AT. That's, you know what I mean? That's the OG. It's all good. She didn't say nothing. She got up, shook it off, wasn't even mad. You know what I'm saying? So she shouldn't have been mad at Angel Reese. You know what I mean? But to make it seem like Angel Reese is the only one who's ever clapped when someone committed a hard foul or just hip check you know what I mean, opposing team, that's not true. They just don't show it. They decided to put that emphasis on Angel Reese because they're looking for anything and everything. You know what I mean? They're making this more about basketball than what it should be. But let's continue on.
If they don't dislike that player, okay, you want some more evidence? Here's some more evidence. Remember last year when they were talking about who gets the credit for the expansion and the eyeballs and the popularity boost of women's basketball? Not just the WNBA, but women's basketball in general, because of the spike in the women's NCAA tournament and WNBA viewership. A lot of people were attributing that to Caitlin Clark, and rightfully so. This is what Angel Reese had to say, and I quote, "People are talking about women's basketball. You never would think they'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to the games. We got celebrities coming to the games, sold out arenas just because of one single game. Just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on to be that for my teammates. I know I'll go down in history. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, the reason we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me, too. I want y'all to realize that." Now, I heard a lot of people say that I or others have made Angel Reese the villain. Did you not just hear herself call herself the bad guy? She called herself the villain. I'm not making her the villain.
All right, I can't listen to him no more. So anyway, that was that. Here's my thing. She made herself the villain because there was the death threat she was getting after the national championship game. So she just simply said, "Listen, y'all already made me that. I'm gonna accept it. I got you right. I'll be the villain then. I'll play the role. You got it." You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Well, first of all, can I go ahead?
No, do your thing, bro. This is we talking. You know what I mean? We dialoguing.
We know RG3. We all know RG3 history. You know what I'm saying? We thought he was going to have a promising career for your Commanders, but he was just too twinkle-toed and kept getting injured. Now, that whole little interview, I don't know. RG3 has really just sounded bitter since he's been out the game to me. And the point of this RG3 thing, I mean, how do you think, or did you want to know, like, how do you think Ryan Clark responded to that before I even go further? Like, did you agree with him, or did you know what I'm saying?
Listen. So Ryan Clark's whole thing was we're gonna play his sound too. It's a little bit of his sound, but Ryan Clark's whole thing was so here's the caveat. If you're watching the video, we're just gonna play the audio. We're not gonna play the video. You know what I mean? Because we are not trying to get copyright. But if you've seen the clip, and I'm sure everybody has, in the background of RG3's whole setup, his wife, is in the background on the couch,
Right.
you know, curled up, sitting kind of cozy, and got a little wine, and it's just kind of like, you know, smiling and cheesing. Hey, I ain't knocking it, but I know we do this podcast. We've been doing this for a couple years now, and none of our significant others have been in the background while we recording.
Right.
I mean, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I don't see that everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And again, people took it like, well, I'm gonna let Ryan Clark explain. But go ahead. Would you add anything before I get to Ryan Clark or anyone? Wakil, one of y'all?
As far as RG3 goes, I think it sounds more like he's trying to instigate something and bring something to a certain light. All I seen between them two was competitiveness. You know what I'm saying? It's the love of the game. They both got the love. It might get a little physical. You know what I'm saying? And as far as like him trying to use that plateau to say that's why they're getting the information or saying that she wants to be the bad guy or whatever, I think people just started paying attention more to women's basketball just for the simple fact they was getting bored with men's basketball. You know what I'm saying? Because men's basketball really ain't been that hidden. You know what I'm saying? To me, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds like he's not instigating, but he's trying to point out, he's kind of trolling to me right now with everything he's trying to bring up and just ride the wave on that to get himself some clout. But that's all I got to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, what's up, Wakil? You got something?
No, I was just going to say, yeah, it just seemed like RG3 just, he's just doing media. That's what media do.
Yeah.
On how they feel about a certain situation. And it's been a hot topic for the WNBA as far as boosting them up for that platform to get shine. Mm-hmm. So right now, the two faces of the league is Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. So anything that happens between them, you know, and people who podcasts like us are going to
try to monetize off it, get links.
Yeah.
Clicks, yep. So that's what he did. No doubt. That's what he did. And I disagree with you a little bit on that, Lex, as far as like why people drawing eyes to the WNBA. It's because of Caitlin Clark, but I think it's because of Angel Reese as well. I think it's people came, like I heard a woman say this. She's on the radio. She's on a national radio show. Mm-hmm. She loves Caitlin Clark. You would think she would push the women's game more better and know how about more without you saying just Caitlin Clark. She only really, she's like, I'm Caitlin Clark. I rock with Caitlin Clark. That's it. But she lives in New York. She went to a Liberty game, and her name is Michelle Smallman. Like, whatever, it is what it is. She went to a game, and she said she went for Caitlin Clark, stayed for Jonquel Jones. You know what I'm saying? Like, that baffles me because, like, how are you a national radio show host and don't promote all the women, just Caitlin Clark? You know what I mean? It's about Caitlin Clark. I get it. She's great, but people are denying that she's white. She's great, but it's because she's white too. You know what I mean? A lot of white eyeballs came because she is white. There's a lot of great NBA players. There's a point guard in the WNBA that's great. Her name is Chelsea Gray, the point guard for the Las Vegas Aces, two-time NBA champion, WNBA champion. You know what I'm saying? There's women who could pass. You know what I'm saying? There's been women who could pass. Cynthia Cooper, going back in the day when we first, you know what I mean? In our heyday, coming up. Point guard, Cheryl Swoops. You know what I'm saying?
So the reason why I say why the NBA is kind of flunked out on that, think about when the WNBA started. We knew all the stars like y'all talking about, Cheryl Swoops, Rebecca Lobos, Lisa Leslie. You know what I'm saying? We knew all them stars. It had a hype around it when it first started. But then the NBA, I'm saying the way the NBA was back then was not how it definitely is now. So they lost a lot of lack. And them two, you right, seem to be the faces of the WNBA just because of what's going now that engine on jump back started. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I get what you're saying. We knew who the other stars was, but I think the NBA took so much attention from them, people wasn't really paying attention to certain stars that they have or they were still growing. You know what I'm saying? I think how many teams they got now nationwide? Like 18, like 15 or 17?
I think it's like 14. I'm gonna look it up for you. I should know. I should have knew that already. I apologize. I'll look it up. But while I'm doing that though, let's hear Ryan Clark's rebuttal.
Yeah.
Moved in to being able to read the expressions of a person and know their intent, know their character, know their perspective. But he does understand hate because I think he also understands the hate of self. When you look at the play, which is all we can speak to as professionals, all we can speak to as analysts. Angel Reese pushed one of her teammates. Caitlin Clark had a hard foul, which is part of basketball. I feel like it was assessed correctly. And Angel Reese's reaction is the sort of reaction you get in a situation when you feel like you took an intentionally hard foul. That's competitiveness. That's rivalry. That's not hate. And so now, though, when RG3 jumps on to the hate train or to the angry train, and now follows along with what we saw from Keith Olbermann, what we saw from Dave Portnoy, as they poured on to Angel Reese to make her the villain in Caitlin Clark's heroic or hero story. Right. The one thing we know about RG3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what Black women have to endure in this country, about what young Black women and athletes like Angel Reese have had to deal with being on the opposite side of Caitlin Clark's rise and ascension into stardom. Now, when you look at it, I think A'ja Wilson is the face of the league. A'ja Wilson is the best player in the league. Caitlin Clark is the most important player in the W.
Okay. So he's basically finished saying Caitlin Clark's the most important player in the WNBA. So basically what he's saying is, this is where Ryan Clark's spinning it. He's spinning it in the way of, I got to defend my young Black sister. You know what I mean? And I get that. Because it really seems like people pile on Caitlin Clark. Black, it doesn't even actually, Angel Reese, it doesn't even matter. It's Black, white, it doesn't even really matter. You know what I mean? Like, they come at Angel Reese, you know what I'm saying? And that's what she's saying why I took the villain role. So that's where Ryan Clark was basically coming from. And he basically said, look, it was a hard foul. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he mentioned the whole thing with the national championship game. Remember, Angel Reese was like this in her face. Angel Reese was going like this to Caitlin Clark, was pointing to her ring in her face. And everybody called her classless. She's a piece of you know what. But Caitlin Clark did it a couple games ago to Haley Van Lith. She did like this. But she didn't do it as flagrant. But here's what I would say. I heard a podcast, a show, Club Shay Shay, with Dave Portnoy talking about that. But also in the same breath, same show, he talked about, well, if you hit me with a bag of feathers, I'm going to hit you with an anvil or a rock or a sledgehammer. So what Angel Reese did was, you went low, I went lower. How is that wrong? You know what I'm saying? Why is it Angel Reese should only go like this once? Nah, you went like this to one of our contemporaries. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. I'm going to taunt you down the court, whatever. Class as it is. Angel Reese went too far, but Caitlin Clark opened the door to have that done to her. See what I'm saying? That's what everybody's talking about, and that's why I don't like her. People keep piling on about her, and that's really what it stems to. It's not about basketball. It's about that one play, that national championship game. People still harp and go at Angel Reese about that. When she was young, I'm not absolving her, but she was a young woman then. She's still young. You know what I mean? She was early 20s. You know what I mean? So, and also she was upset that, Caitlin Clark was waving off Raven Johnson from South Carolina, who Raven Johnson got her revenge on Caitlin Clark and won the national championship the very next year. And remember what was that storyline though? Remember that national championship game last year? The storyline was Caitlin Clark. The storyline in the papers was Caitlin Clark loses her final college game. Not South Carolina just finished the undefeated season. You know what I mean? Like, and Dawn Staley went out her way to thank Caitlin Clark for bringing eyeballs to the women's game, college and WNBA. But the paper didn't respect South Carolina enough to say, y'all just went undefeated. And this game, women's game got better. Nah, Caitlin Clark lost her for a final game. What? Come on, man. That's what we're talking. That's what I'm talking about. That's what Ryan Clark is talking about along them lines. Y'all thoughts?
To me, I think it was a little bit overdrawn. I see where he was going with it, but I kind of look at that as a little petty. You know what I mean? Because I don't even know if they really know each other off the field or you know what I mean?
That is.
They don't.
RG3 and Ryan Clark or Caitlin Clark? RG3 and Ryan Clark? They were teammates. They were teammates in Washington.
But I don't know if they was like cool, like guys like off. Because it sounds like the way Ryan is putting that, it's like he know him a little bit more personally, so he was going to throw that. It sounded like a shock to me. You know what I'm saying? See the point he was making where he was taking up for, you know what I'm saying? But there's only certain things in professional sports that's going to get a certain amount of attention and a certain amount of rant to it too. You know what I mean? Because if you want to be honest, he was right. Old girl is the best one in the league right now. You know what I'm saying? but at the same time, it still can be a little bit of systematic racism and somewhat of some BS that goes into professional sports, which we ought to realize over the years. But I think he was just making a judgment, like for him to have his wife back there and then he's going at assistant and his wife is just back there smiling and shit, like, yeah, you go. You know what I'm saying? Tell the truth. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But
he had a reason, but then I don't know if he should have took it that far. I don't know. Because I always wondered if they was cool outside of, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
The league and all that. And it don't seem like they was. It seemed like bro kind of just disliked them in a way.
let's get into that though.
And a ton of her fandom has come along with some racial bias or some racial pieces to why people love her so much. And so now if you're RG3, when is the last time within your household you've had a conversation about what she's dealing with? You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women. You haven't had opportunities to have those conversations to educate you on what they're feeling, what Black women deal with, what they're seeing when they think of a young Angel Reese. And the whole time that he's mimicking Angel Reese and bobbing his head and moving his neck while he's doing this whole piece, his wife is in the back amening and clapping. And so to me, it's just another situation that now this young lady has to deal with. When I worked with RG3, he would make all of these sort of corny jokes about milk and how much he loved it and how important it was. And he always points out on social media the color of his wife's skin, as if the color of her skin is what makes her special, as if the color of her skin is what makes her a good wife. I've met the lady, I've had a conversation with her. Right. I think she's more than that. But it also leads to what Black women deal with a lot from Black men who have chose to date or marry outside of their race. They always feel like they have to go the extra mile to prop up the woman that they're married or the woman that they're with over Black women by denigrating Black women. I feel like we should have an opportunity to move past that and understand that Angel Reese can be great in her own right, as Caitlin Clark is as well. Caitlin Clark is a likable and lovable superstar. She pays homage to the stars of the past. She pays homage to the Black women that have come before her. And now she is carrying the mantle forward. So there's no need to pin those two against each other and paint them based on stereotypical tropes.
All right. So that was the first part. So basically, that's where Robert Griffin III took offense, because he basically said, look,
bro,
he mentioned his wife in there. He's saying, you know what I mean? How he talked about how RG3 likes milk and all this, that, third. Let me make a disclaimer. Folks, though, before y'all, you know what I mean? I'm Black. Obviously, you can tell I'm Black. I'm married to a white woman. My kids are white. That doesn't mean I've had Black girlfriends. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I've talked to Spanish women. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't care about that type of stuff. And one thing I'm not going to do, and it's not about me. Let me just make sure. You know, it's not about me. But anyway, you know what I mean? So, but I'm Black. You know what I mean? I'm never gonna be perceived as denigrating a Black woman. You know what I mean? And I'm also not gonna go the extra mile. I'm gonna go the extra mile, but I'm not gonna, you know what I mean, go hard enough to prove my Blackness either. You know what I mean? Or anything like that. So what he's saying, I think, what I'm taking from what he's saying about RG3 is that you are trying so hard to prop your wife up based on the color of her skin to say, look, this is her. Respect her like someone's disrespecting her. You know what I mean? Or something like that. You know what I mean? That's how I'm taking it. It's like, bro, okay, you're married to a white woman. You've been married to 2 white women. That's okay. That's what you like. That's cool, bro. Do you. But you still got to understand the color of your skin. You know what I'm saying? And it is your duty. It is our duty to protect our skin color. Not, again, I'm not going to go out and protect Angel Reese for everything because she doesn't need that. And if sometimes she's wrong. In this case, she went a little too far, but it was a basketball play. Not even too far. She jumped up, got a little mad, and that was it. It didn't need to go as far as it went, but everybody else makes it about that. I know a lot of people are attacking her because of the color of her skin. I don't care what you say. And because you're protecting Caitlin Clark. You could say you're not, but you are. Caitlin Clark don't need your protection. She's fine. There was just she got into another little scuffle on Friday night with Ryan Howard of the Dream, or Thursday night, whatever, of the Atlanta Dream. They got each other's face. She hit her with a little bow. You know what I mean? Ryan Howard got at her. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark walked away like, I'm not scared. I'm not afraid of you. This is a meme now. It's a whole meme now. You know what I mean? It's out there. I got it on my joint. I'm probably gonna make it a meme. You know what I'm saying? And Caitlin Clark don't need your protection, people. It doesn't matter white, black, or brown. She doesn't need your protection. She's fine. Let them play the game. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's kind of the whole moral of this. Y'all are making it bigger than every time somebody touches Caitlin Clark, y'all want them suspended. Y'all want them out the league. Y'all want them arrested. Stop it. I get it. She's the money. She's bringing the money. They're saying the WNBA is on track to make $1 billion this year. And we know who it's because of. No doubt. No doubt. Yeah. It's because of Caitlin Clark. I give her that. You know what I'm saying? But the more you keep coddling her, the more the resentment's going to come in. And even though the women in the WNBA say, nah, it's not like that. Come on, look. I love the women in the WNBA. I love the WNBA. I watched the Fever against the Liberty yesterday. Not to try to, look at me. I'm just saying. I really watch the games. I know the players. And it's 13 teams in the WNBA. Like you were right. You said 13, 14. You know what I mean? So I watch them. I watch the games. I watch them. I don't just watch the highlights. I watch the game. I watched the Fever against the New York Liberty. Great game. Caitlin Clark came out, was kind of flat. Came the third quarter, started busting tail. 3-on-1, layup. Boom. Hit a step back three and one. Then hit a three from like half court to end the third quarter. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Went on a run. But the Fever, Liberty wound up winning. But I'm just saying it was a great game. I think the Fever should win the championship this year. They got a championship roster for real. That's what we should be focusing on. You know what I'm saying?
Well, all I'm gonna say is he don't like him at all, bro. Huh? He doesn't like him, bro.
Right. Speaking of Angel Reese, don't like Caitlin Clark. Right? Clark don't like her.
But Clark, he do not like RJ. He do not like RG3 at all, bro. That explained it right there. That's why I was like, that was the main thing I questioned, where I was saying he could just be petty and he just throwing shots at him too. It could be a little bit of emotion involved because he just don't like him. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I had to say on that tip. But that just shows, like, when you just don't like somebody and you just have the opportunity to probably troll them or prove them wrong in some type of right, that's why I say Ryan is kind of being a little petty, because he really didn't have to throw the race thing in. He threw it in, but then he still broke it down to where it doesn't matter. But then he went into detail about his personal life. That's where I was like, he just don't like bro.
Yeah. Again, so I don't even really want to play the sound because you know what I mean? We know what's going on. Like, right. You know, RG3 came back like, yo, bro, there's a line you don't cross. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You mentioned my wife, all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so basically, he said I gave a sports opinion. You know what I mean? He said I said Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark based on repeated visible actions on the court and in press conferences. I backed it up with 5 separate examples from the game of basketball because that's what I do. Analyze sports. I stay in the arena. Just because Angel Reese is black doesn't mean that her game and actions cannot be critiqued. A black man or woman is not restricted from giving a sports opinion on another black man or woman just because you don't like it. You know what I mean? So, you know, again, Ryan Clark said, and then he went on to say basically, Ryan Clark said, I don't understand the struggles of a black woman because I'm married to a white woman, a white woman. That's wrong and way out of bounds. He suggests I don't love my wife he suggests I don't value my wife as a woman. He never said that. he said you propped her up and you keep talking about her because of her skin color. Right. Ryan Clark says I met her. She's more than that to me. That's what Ryan Clark said. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So he never said so. So RG3 spent it, and you know the media spent it. Oh, he's coming at him because he's the white. Nah, man, he didn't do that. So that was big. You know, it just went on to that, and
it is.
So then, basically, Ryan Clark basically came out and said, "Look, you're the worst teamate ever." You know what I'm saying? Like you're phony, you're a bozo. Basically, you know what I mean? I'm paraphrasing.
He already didn't like him, bro.
He basically went. Yeah, basically that was kind of. It was kind of like it seemed like, I'm not going to say Ryan Clark was baiting him because he wasn't, but he said what he said. And then when RG3 jumped out the window more, Ryan Clark was waiting for that. Like, now let me unleash on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. Let me keep it all the way a buck. I don't like you like that. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep it all the way a buck. I don't like you like that. You a bozo to me. And yada. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, mind you, going back to 2011, I remember when RG3 first got drafted, I was happy as hell. Like, yeah, he was busting tail. And there was a reporter, his name Rob Parker. He was on ESPN, and they can't. They got him. They kind of suspended him for this. Remember this in 2011. He went on and said he's in Washington. He's like, I'm in the barbershops in Washington, and we're asking ourselves, is he a brother or is he a cornball brother? And they was like, what you mean by that? Because they was like, yo, he's married to they brought up he's married to a white woman. You know what I'm saying? And how he comes off. So people been saying this about RG3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, I'm married to a white woman. No one says it's about me. Again, it's not about me. I'm saying there's a lot of women there's men who are married to white women, and no one says that. Greg Anthony, he's married to a white woman. Nobody comes at him about that. Now remember, Hubert Davis, the coach of North Carolina. One of the first things he said in his press conference was, I love my white wife or something like that. Why? I mean, again, just say I love my wife. You don't gotta say none of that. If she's in pictures with you, they're gonna see what it is. You know what I mean?
I'm saying, I think a lot of that has to do with they look at the man as far as like an individual first. If he seemed like you know how we consider motherfuckers square or some shit. Like, I don't see nobody, bro, just coming at you and questioning you about that. Just because, you know what I'm saying? If you see a real man, it's a real man. You did that. They seen a goof troop in RG3 back then. They seen him as a goof troop, bro. I don't see nobody approaching you like, like just trying to think, but bro, they seen a goof troop. You dig what I'm saying? So, like,
yeah, some of the stuff he does is sometimes he just look. I try to like RG3, but you see, it's crazy because the media is now a lot of the media is rocking with RG3. You know what I mean? They going at Ryan Clark. Some, you know, a lot of and it's crazy how I hate how it does this, but a lot of the white and some of the people that are kind of media are with RG3, and like the blacks are all with Ryan Clark. You know what I mean? They're all coming at Robert Griffin III. You know what I'm saying? But remember, we see Robert Griffin III on the Christmas Day games on Netflix. When he took a bite out of the football, I was like, bro. The way he did it was like, yo, bro. Like, just bro, man. Like, just, man, bro. Just go ahead, man. Just chill, bro. You doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you doing way too much. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the moral to the story is, and Ryan Clark later, he made another video like, look, I shouldn't have brought his wife up. I could have did it better. I could have critiqued his critique of Angel Reese without bringing up his wife. But again, if you look at a lot of people are going to surmise that Ryan Clark just said what everybody else wanted to say. Because if you watch the clip, she's in the background, like, you know what I mean? That just it made it look weird. Like, to me, that was a bozo move by RG3. Why would you? You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. I'm not telling you to tell your wife what to do, nothing like that. I'm just saying, like, if you don't record with her like that in the background any other time, why do it then? Because then I think to his rebuttal, when he talked about, well, you crossed the line, she's not in the background. She's not in the clip. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, you should have just kept her in the clip. You know what I mean? If that, just keep her there then. You know, so it just, moral of the story is this. Let me just, the real moral. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are two different players. They play two different positions. Angel Reese is more of Angel Reese is that dog, that rebounding. She was great in college. She's good in the NBA. Right now, I can't give her really great. She's brought eyeballs because a lot of people rock with Angel Reese. I personally love Angel Reese. I'm supporting Angel Reese. I don't care what anybody says. Call me what you want to call me. I'm rocking with Angel Reese. You know what I mean? That's my dog. I got it. I'm with Angel Reese. Not over everything. If she sucks, she sucks. But I'm talking about just her on the court. I'm supporting Angel Reese. I'm rocking with Angel Reese. And I like Caitlin Clark too. Obviously, I love Caitlin Clark. I love what she brings to the WNBA. But what I'm saying is, I'm rooting for Angel Reese. I'm rooting for Angel Reese. You know what I mean? For real. Straight up. She's going to get better. She's got to make her layups. Damn, she's got to make her layups. You know what I mean? Like she's got to make her layups. She's got to get better. But she's good right now. She's really good.
I agree with Ryan Clark as far as like Angel Wilson. You know what I'm saying?
The best. You know, that's my thing. Angel, no, listen, all this Caitlin Clark, I listen, I'm going to say it. I love Caitlin Clark. I said it for the 15th time. But right now, the best player in the league is Angel Wilson until further notice. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. 22 for the Las Vegas Aces. Her name is Angel Wilson, is the best player in the WNBA until further notice. I don't want to hear nothing else.
Yeah.
Period. 22, Angel Wilson is the best player in the WNBA. So I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? And shit, coming down the pike, you know what I mean? Coming down the pike, I should say, you obviously got Paige Beckers who just came into the league. She's going to be great. You know what I mean? There's a lot of women coming along. Let's prop them up. Let's prop up the game. Caitlin Clark, what Caitlin Clark brings to the game, her passing, her shooting, she's gotten bigger, so she's able to handle the physical toll now. Caitlin Clark's only going to get better. You can say Caitlin Clark's top 5 in the league. Caitlin Clark's top 5 in the league right now, and she probably ain't 5. I'll give you that. She probably ain't 5, but she's not number 1. I'm sorry. That goes to, again, I'm going to say it again for the 15th time. A'ja Wilson, who say what you want about me. Call me what you want. A'ja Wilson is the best player in the WNBA right now, hands down. There's no. Sit. Period, full stop. A'ja Wilson. But wait till, you know what I mean? Listen, when my homegirl Juju Watkins come, oh boy. I know she's going to be hurt this year. She probably ain't going to play all year. But Juju coming too. In a couple years, Juju Watkins going to be there. Y'all got to watch these women play. Juju Watkins is nice. You know what I mean? You see the play. Sonia Cintron, rookie, she played at Notre Dame. Nobody really talked about her. And they talked about Hannah Hidalgo and Olivia Miles. Sonia Cintron is nice. She plays for the Washington Mystics. She's a rookie. She's nice. Kiki Arifin, she's on our team. She's nice. She's nice. You know what I mean? Like, they got some ballers in the WNBA right now. Been balling. Drew Lloyd, she's on the Las Vegas Aces, doing it to hit the game winner, game-winning 3 in the corner on Friday night against the Mystics. Mystics are looking better. Kelsey Plum, still doing her thing out in Los Angeles with the Sparks. She had like 37 in the opening game. You know what I mean? Like, yo, listen, man.
Ballers.
It's ballers, man. You know what I mean? If you're going to support women's sports, support it without just propping up one player. Listen, again, Caitlin Clark, we thank you. I thank you for what you brought as a father, to 3 girls, 3 daughters who aspire to play women's sports. You know what I mean? I thank you so much for bringing the eyeballs to the WNBA that they so deserve. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But to everybody else who's mad at these women who's saying they're being too resentful, how would you be? Honestly, let's have this conversation. Look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, if you were doing something at a job, it doesn't matter what job you're at. No money was coming in. Knowing you're busting your tail. You're doing everything you can. You are great at your job. Some person comes along and props it up to something bigger. It's like, man, I've been doing this. I'm really good too. You know what I'm saying? Where's the eyeballs? We've been asking for more money. We've been doing all this. One person comes along and now the money's going to come now. Now it's this. You're going to be resentful. Your first reaction is going to be resentment. And then you're going to say, you know what? Damn, this person's bringing that money. I'm going to embrace it now. The players have, for the most part, have embraced it. They were resentful, and they were resentful, and they can't say they wasn't. And ladies, let's stop lying. Y'all was. It's okay. It's okay though. You know what I'm saying? But now you know what it is. You know what Caitlin Clark's bringing. Embrace it. Embrace it. And you know what you should be doing? Okay, she's selling out this arena. Guess what I'm gonna go do? I'm gonna go cook her. Not beat her up, not physically try to hurt her. I'm going to go cook her on the basketball court. Yeah, now come watch the Golden Girl get cooked. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's competition. You know what I mean? If she's the Golden Girl right now, your job should be to cook her. Like when Tom Brady's the Golden Boy, I'm cooking Tom Brady. Jordan, I'm cooking him. LeBron, I'm cooking him. You know what I mean? My goal is to cook him. Shohei Ohtani, my goal is to strike him out. If he's pitching, I'm trying to hit a home run off him. Aaron Judge, you know what I mean? I'm trying to strike him out every time. You see what I'm saying? Like the golden boys, the golden women of the sports that everybody's looking at like, oh, that's the guy. Your job should be to just go out there. I'm cooking him every time. That's your man. That's your king. That's your queen. I'm cooking him. That's the moral of it. Forget about making this about race and this, that, and the third. That's it. Caitlin Clark is better than Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark is better than Angel Reese. I'll say it. I don't have any problem saying that. But I still rock with Angel Reese. I'm supporting her. I'm riding with her. She's going to get better. She's going to get better. You know what I'm saying? But Caitlin Clark is great. Caitlin Clark is really, really good. Angel Reese is good. You know what I'm saying? And they need to put some pieces around Angel Reese. They need to go sign Kennedy Carter. Kennedy Carter's in the Mexican League dominating. You know what I mean? Having fun. But go get Kennedy Carter back. She was a dog and she could score. That's the one thing about Kennedy Carter that people forgot. They just know her for being like, she got a hot head and all that. But Kennedy Carter can actually play ball. She can ball. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta look at how the divisions and stuff break down in the WNBA. I never paid attention to that, but it's a possible chance they could like end up in the conference finals, right?
Who's that? The Fever?
The Fever, Indiana Fever, and
the Sky ain't. It's no conference. It's only because only 13 teams. It's just one league. So the top 8 teams get into the playoffs. You know what I mean? So it's different. So it's crazy because Like how the NBAs don't want that type of scheduling, the seeding, they don't want to just seed it all through. The WNBA does it. So like the Fever could play the the Sparks could play the New York Liberty in the first round. So you could be traveling West Coast, East Coast in the first round. You know what I mean? Of a game of the playoffs, which is crazy, but that's what it is right now. So they get one team. They got another team coming. Toronto's coming. So maybe they'll go like conference, go 7. You know what I mean? 7-7. I think once they add like 2 more teams, I think
then conference.
Yeah, I think if they go to 16 teams, they'll go 8-8. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, and then they go division in each conference.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Again, my team's the Connecticut Sun. With 0-3 though. It's trash. Good Lord. Marina Mabry, another great player. I rock with you, girl. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get your jersey. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, close it off, man. That's basically what we saying, man. Everybody's saying it. Let's stop making this about these two. And they're bringing albums to the game. Respect both of them. Call out Angel Reese for her play on the, you know what I mean, and both their play. But let's stop every time. And every time something happens with Caitlin Clark, man, stop it, man. Let her go. Let her play. She doesn't need your help. She's good. She went into the gym and got bigger for a reason. For this type of reason, to sustain the physical hits. And she's fighting back. She's coming back. She gets in people's faces anyway. Caitlin Clark is not like Caitlin Clark's a trash talker. She does talk trash a lot. Y'all don't call that out. Call it all out, but but not in race, not because you hate someone. In the sport of being competitive, Caitlin Clark is competitive. Let them play. Let these women play, because they're gonna see more scuffles that nobody's gonna talk about. This WNBA is 10 times more physical than the NBA, maybe 5 now because what's going on in the NBA playoffs is I'm shocked at what they let happen in the NBA playoffs. It's crazy. It's real crazy. All right, speaking of the NBA playoffs, before we get out of here. So we got 2 series going on. Last night was ugly. I mean, ugly ain't the word to describe it. Minnesota, I think Oklahoma City scored 14 points in the first quarter. Minnesota went on to absolutely demolish the Thunder by 30. They cracked the 40 on them. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, and what I think, last I heard, the stat that someone said, no team that's the number 1 seed or projected to win the NBA championship no team that has been projected to win the NBA championship or picked to win the NBA championship has lost by 40 ever in a playoff game and won the championship. Oklahoma City lost 143-101 last night. I was saying that like, I ain't never seen a team that won a championship get beat by 40.
But are you concerned for Oklahoma?
Honestly, listen, I'm gonna tell you like this. I jumped out, you know me, Wakil. I jumped out the window again. I picked Minnesota in 7. You know what I'm saying?
Here you go. I'm not concerned.
Yeah. I'm not concerned.
I think they had to have a letdown game against Minnesota, and plus it make the the first 2 games they pretty much dominated Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? So And again, you got Anthony Edwards, you know what I'm saying? Bro been balling. I mean, they had to get 1 game. So I'm not too concerned about Oklahoma. And as far as Indiana and New York, man, look.
Yeah, Indiana up 0-2. I don't know, man. I think, listen, game 3 is the night in Indianapolis. It's been too close. It's been 2 close games.
Yeah.
And it's been where Indiana has come back every time. Now, game 2, they didn't come back from a lot, but they were down like 9 or 10, and they came back.
I think
you know what I mean?
I think they had to come back a little bit, right? And then
I don't. The Knicks are better for some reason. They're a better road team than they are home team. I think they've only lost 1 game on the road in the playoffs.
I think they're gonna win game 3, and then
So I want them all to go 7. So I hope they win both. And then, you know what I mean? I picked the Pacers in 7, though. I think the Pacers are a better team. I think the Pacers, the way they play, which I'm saying what everybody else is saying. So if you watch basketball, you know the Pacers play too fast, and the Knicks don't play that. They only will go 7 deep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that just ain't gonna work. That's just not gonna work for the Pacers. Not. And they get dragged into playing the Pacers style, and that's how they lose. They wear them down. They're wearing teams down. That's what the Pacers are basically doing. They force you into playing the way they play. You know why? If the Pacers wasn't making shots and playing and they play a little bit better defense. You know what I mean? But if their defense wasn't as good, or if the defense was as trash as it was in the beginning of the season, and they don't shoot as well and score as well, the Pacers wouldn't even be in the playoffs right now. You know what I'm saying? But because they score efficiently and they all can shoot, that's what's got teams saying, no, I got to play like them. I got to play like them. And you go on, it's frenetic. It's too fast. It's too fast.
It's not even, and it's not even just Halliburton or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, it's everybody. It's Nembhard. It's Neesmith. Neesmith is a sharpshooter, boy. Yeah. My man is a flamethrower. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you know, Obi Toppin's busting tail. Miles Turner and them. I mean, listen, they got players. Benedict Mathurin, TJ McConnell come in, give you a spark. Listen, this team's gonna be great. I think the Knicks win tonight too as well. Knicks got too much heart. You know what I mean? They fought too hard. Knicks got too much heart. I think OKC. I think Minnesota wins tomorrow, man. I think this loss is gonna hurt OKC a little bit. I think Minnesota's got rejuvenized. Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. They re-energized, I should say. They re-energized. I think Minnesota wins tomorrow night, and I think it's just a home and home now. I think OKC wins. OKC wins at home. Yeah. And I think Minnesota wins at home and goes 7. I think both series go 7 with New York tying it up, winning both games in
Indiana.
Indiana. Or they might go down 3-1, but they win in Madison Square Garden, and then they put the pressure on Indiana and win in game 6, and then they force it to game 7. But the Pacers ultimately win.
I'm going with Indiana. I think the Pacers win in 6. That's my pick. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder gonna win in 6 too.
Got you. All right, y'all. It's been a great show. We gotta let Lex go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate my brother. You know what I'm saying? Worked all night, jumped on the show with us. You know, we work regular jobs, people. You know what I'm saying? We do that too. You know what I'm saying? We actually work. We not just out here just talking our talk. But we gonna talk our ish all the time, every week. Y'all gonna see us. We appreciate y'all supporting us. Getting up with us early, rocking with us. It's been a Fanatical Massholes Show. Like I said, we come to you every Sunday. Happy Memorial Day to everybody again. Enjoy the food. Enjoy y'all weeks. Vince St. Lex, Wakil, your boy Mizzo. Remember, like, subscribe, share, comment, support the movement. Peace and blessings, y'all. We out. Easy, word.
I'm across the finish line. Finish line. I'm across the finish line. Finish line. I'm across the finish line. I'ma go out there, get mine. As a motherfucker.